Countdown.
Tahniah! Siaran langsung ini dibawakan khas kepada anda oleh Akademi YouTuber Malaysia. Sebuah inisiatif e-didik Malaysia dan Kelab Guru Malaysia. Tumpukan perhatian anda. Siaran langsung akan bermula sebentar lagi. Link sijil akan diberikan di hujung siaran ini. Pastikan diisi dalam tempoh yang ditetapkan. Terima kasih.
Hi, everyone.
Hi.
All students, welcome to Pusat Tuisyen Academy YouTuber, joint venture with e-didik Malaysia and Kelab Guru Malaysia. Bermula percuma, selamanya percuma. Before we proceed, let us begin our session with the recitation of your prayers according to your religion. Okay, how is everyone doing today?
How is Teacher Aileen doing today?
I'm doing well. So I hope everyone is doing fine and ready for today's lesson. I am Teacher Aileen as the moderator for today's class. And together with me is our control host, our teacher Zana, and our observer, our teacher, Madam Roswaya. And our presenter, of course, teacher Im from College Tingkatan 6 Tapah Perak. So welcome everyone. For your information, we are now live on 3 channels. Teacher Im's channel, myself, Teacher Eileen's channel, and Teacher Zana's channel. So as a sign of support to Teacher Im for the hard work in preparing today's lesson, please subscribe her channel as well as Teacher Ali's channel and also Teacher Zana's channel and of course Madam Maya's channel. So as usual, the lesson will last approximately for 1 hour. Please follow the class until the end and please give your full cooperation in making this class a lively one. Please take note that the certificate link will be given at the end of the session. Besides this, the link to claim the credit for today's live class as well as the presenter's username will be given too. Don't forget to claim your credit. Please accumulate the credit points to redeem the attractive prizes prepared for you. However, a 4-digit code is needed to claim the credit. The code will be revealed 1 digit at a time during the live class. So please be alert and get ready with your paper and pen. I would also like to remind students to use appropriate language and profile picture if you wish to post comments in the chat box. I am pretty sure all the students here are excellent students who will uphold a positive classroom environment. Stay focused, and if you have any questions, please write on the chat box. Teacher Im will try to provide you with the answer. So before I proceed, I will review the first code for today's live class. That is A7. A7. All right. So without further ado, please welcome Teacher Im.
Hi, everyone. Oh yeah. Teacher Aileen is back. But you all have to work very hard to make her do her work. All right. Please like her channel and go and subscribe. Then she will come back to us. Okay. All right. today I'm not. I'm going to run through these slides very fast, and I'm not going to say because most of the weeks you all already seen all this. And there, Cikgu Maya's. This one is Cikgu Maya's channel where the playlist is. Okay, that's Cikgu Maya out down there, and the chemistry teacher and our mathematics team. Okay, why I want to run through this so fast? Because today, you all notice that Cikgu Maya's screen and Cikgu Zana's back screen, you see the IU background there with an apps. Can you all like move a bit so that they can see the apps? Okay, so if you go to Google Play Store, okay, Play Store, not Google Play Store, your Play Store with your handphone, you will notice that if you type Academy YouTuber, they actually already have apps. Okay, and in the apps, all right, in the apps you can actually watch all our lessons in your handphone. Okay, so you can when we are all going back to school, right? All of us, we are going to travel and all this to school every day. So on the bus or in your parents' car, you can, while waiting for the traffic, you can watch our lessons. Not only mine, but all the teachers, okay, including MURID, pengajian and so on. Okay, so please do find our apps in Google Play Store. Oh, talking about Play Store, those using iPhone, oh no, we have not entered the iPhone apps yet. Okay, we only have into the Google Play Store. All right, so that's our intro today. All right, today we are going to talk about numerical methods, and in numerical methods, there are two parts. All right, the first part is called the numerical solution equation, and the second part is called the numerical integration. So in numerical integration, we got trapezium rule, which I will talk about maybe next week or the week after. Depends on whether Cikgu Sana and Cikgu Aileen want to have class or not. Okay, but for numerical methods, although we have here, I'm going to talk about this part over here. Okay, today I'm going to talk about these four syllabus. The first thing is I'm going to teach you all how to locate a root on an equation approximation by means of graphical, okay, and searching for sign change. So which means if you are in school, your teacher would have told you that you will have the equation, and then you have to find the differentiation of the equation, and then you check the modulus. Is it less than 0 or bigger than 0? Okay, means not differentiate, is you just enter the range or domain that they give you. Afterwards I will show you lah. Then you see whether it is positive or negative. So that one is by using sign change. All right. Then you have something called the iteration formula. Iteration formula means you have to be able to change all kinds of equation that the exam gives you, and try to change it into the format that they want, or into a format which you find it easy to sketch. Okay, because inside here you see part 1, they ask you to sketch. All right, so they ask you to sketch graph, so you should be able to arrange the equation into the iterative format which you can sketch. If you find that after you arrange and you find it very hard to sketch, then your iterative is not useful. Okay, of course, okay, sometimes most of the time in the question, they already give you the iterative formula, or they already give you the equation which they already wanted you all to sketch. Okay, then in part 3, they want you to identify the iteration which are converges or diverges. There is a formula for that. Converges means the differentiation when you fill in the x or the x element that they gave you, then the modulus of it is bigger or less than 0. Inside my notes got Okay, we're talking about my notes. You can find my notes in the Google Drive, and some of you might have got it from your teacher already, or maybe from all the sharing from your friends that got the Google Drive already or the PDF already. Okay, so from there you will know whether the equation converges or diverges. Later we will see the answer. And then next one is you must know how to use the Newton-Raphson method to find the solution. Okay, so you have two ways of finding solution. Either you use the iteration formula or you use the Newton-Raphson formula. So both also I will teach you today. All right, is it good? Yeah, today I cover two things, the iteration and the Newton-Raphson. Because why? Because inside the question in STPM, all these berkait punya. Alright, they will all involve, will click to each other. Sometimes they will ask you to sketch graph and then find Newton-Raphson. Sometimes they ask you to find of different sign and then find either Newton-Raphson or iteration. Sometimes they ask you to find the iteration and then try to sketch the graph. So all four of them actually mix and match. All right, and sometimes they will ask you to sketch the graph and then ask you to find whether there is a roots between them or not. Because the graph itself, you could not see the correct format. Okay, you cannot see the roots. So they ask you to check, is it really a roots there? Inside my example, afterwards, I will talk about it too. All right, so let's go to the examples. Let's move on. Okay, what you are going to do inside here is, before I go on to the answer, because they ask you to given a function. And I already told you a function can be created, we can use a function when it turns to fx equals to 0. That function can actually be used to create other function. So can you imagine from this simple equation here, how many iteration can you make? How many iteration, when the question say how many iteration or can you find other iteration, means they are asking you, can you form other equation from this equation when fx is equals to 0? Give you one example. For example, x cubed equals to 5x minus 3. So what actually happened is I just bring this 5x plus 3 to the right hand side because it's equals to 0 already. I just bring it over. This graph I can sketch, okay? Because I know x cubed graph and I know this straight line graph. So I can actually sketch the graph, okay? So can you name me a few other ones? Can you type in the chat box and tell me what are the other iteration that can we build? Can you all? Give a simple ones. Give simple ones. So that if you find that there is a square root or something, don't type lah. Because one equation, they can form a lot of iteration. Can you give me some example? Anybody want to try? Come on. I'm sure you learned this from your teacher already, but I just want to confirm whether do you really know iteration. Okay, can you give me some? Actually, there's many. Because this is a simple equation, so this simple equation can actually be changed into other equation. Can anybody type in? I don't see any answer yet. Just give me simple ones. The first one, the simplest one, I already gave you all. The x cubed equals to 5x minus 3. So and that x cubed minus 5x minus 3 can equals to 5x minus 3 is one that we can easily sketch. Okay, I have one there. X cubed equals to negative 5x plus 3. All right, good try. Any more? So x cubed, a negative x cubed, also something very easy to sketch. Negative 5x plus 3. All right, that is another iterative. Any other iterative that you all can think of? There's only one answer there. Anybody else? Nobody? Oops. Okay, I have another one there. Very good. X equals to 5 minus 3x squared. Yeah. Right? So you have 1 over there. Any more? Any more? Okay, let me show you another one. X equals to cube root 5x minus 3. Anybody typing this one? This one hard to type, so I show you lah. Alright, so this x equals to cube root of 5, but this one is hard to sketch. Alright, this one is hard to sketch. Is there any more? Anybody else want to try? There's a lot. You can build a lot of equation from this iterative. Come on, I got 6 questions to teach today, but I must make sure you all know the iteration. Any more? Let me give you another one. X cubed plus 3 equals to 5x. Just this one shift over to the right hand side. It's another iteration. Okay? Do you have any more for me? No? Okay, let me continue. 4. X equals to x cubed plus 3 divided by 5. That's another number 4 iteration. Okay, 5x equals to 5x cubed plus 3. Yes, good. All right. So you can have a lot of iteration. I have a hard one there. X equals to square root of 5 minus 3 over x. Okay. And also, let me show you all. Next one is x equals to 5 over x minus 3x squared. Okay, so there is a lot of iteration from one simple equation, including that the one that they ask inside the question. See, inside the question, they have another iteration. Means from this simple equation, we can make like 7. Here already got 6. The question got 1 more. So you can actually build a lot of equation. So let's say if the question did not give this question, you are lucky. They gave you the iteration. Okay, they gave you the iteration, but some equation, some question, they don't give. So you have to choose the correct iteration. All right, so how to choose? Okay. Depends on the question. If they ask you to sketch the graph, then you have to choose the iteration which you can sketch the graph. For example, cube and a straight line. I can easily sketch a cube root and a cube and a line. But cube root graph is harder to sketch. So I might not want to choose this iteration. Okay, if I want to sketch graph, x cubed plus 3 and straight line 5x. Maybe I can sketch. This one definitely I won't choose. All right, or this one with a square root I might not want to choose that. Neither do I want to choose something like number 6. Okay, so when you are actually they are asking for sketching of graph, you will choose the iteration which is easy to sketch. Okay, what if they ask you like this question, calculate roots? Now, when I want to calculate roots, I will try to choose iteration which has less x. For example, if I want to calculate the roots, means roots is a x, okay? Means I want to choose iteration which involves x equals to x equals to x equals to. But when I choose the time, I have to make sure when I key in into the calculator, afterwards I will teach you how to key it into the calculator. I make sure I have less x on the formula which I want to key into the calculator. For example, number 2, number 4, number 5 is beautiful. Number 6, definitely I won't choose. Okay, if I want to calculate roots, I will choose number 2, number 4, and number 5 because I only have one place which I want to put in the answer. Okay, means you know already, your teacher say you have to do the iteration until stopping criteria. Afterwards, I will tell you more about stopping criteria. Don't need to worry. So, and I'm sure your teacher already taught you about stopping criteria. But then you have to make sure that it is only one x or the most, sometimes it's unavoidable. Okay, sometimes it's unavoidable, or sometimes the equation itself is given inside the question, then unavoidable, you have to key in more than one time, okay, inside the answer. Why I say that, later I will show you. All right, so let's go back to this question. So let's say if I want to show that this fx can be written as this new iterative, so what I do is I need to make sure that I actually follow the format. Okay, so I will see carefully the format. So the format have 3 on top and then divided by x squared minus 5. So what I see here is a x cubed. So I have to get and try to find the x squared. So what I do is I will try to factorize out. Oh yeah, my x squared is out. All right, so x squared minus 5 is there. So this one, I just shift it over to the left-hand side and I bring the x squared over. Yes, my iteration is already out. So you try to make sure that you see what is given if they give you, but if they don't give you, you have to build yourself, then you have to choose the correct one. Okay, so this question they gave you already, so you just follow the equation that they gave you and you try to adjust until you get what they give. Okay, and then this chapter, okay, is easy in the sense that there's not much, because all the skills of differentiation and filling in algebra and integration is something that you already learned. Okay, you already learned in chapter 1, 2, and 3. Okay, chapter 2 and 3, the differentiation, chapter 2 and integration, chapter 3. However, this chapter is also a chapter where students lose the most marks. Okay, so why? The method, because it is easy, so the method when you write the answer, see, they actually want to take this into a gx. So if you do until here only, you have not reached the final answer. So you have to say, therefore, okay, you can use the word therefore, or you can use these 3 decimal or this symbol. Okay, you can see that, right? The 2 dots at the bottom and 1 dot on top. Therefore, gx is equals to this equation. Then you say, if they ask you to show, I forgot to type the word shown, so you write the word shown. Okay, next one, I want to answer the question. Using the iteration x1, right? You have to be very careful. If they gave you x1, the next number that you calculate is x2. Okay, there's also another thing that a lot of students make mistake. People already give x1, they still start from x0. Okay, even if they say initial value, sometimes you will start x0, but here they already gave you x1. So you will follow that statement. Okay, find the roots of fx by using iteration method. So you will start the answer by using iteration method. Okay, another thing that you can lose mark is this thing. All right, so when you want to change this to iteration method, you have to make sure you change the equation that you have on top here into xn. Means that it will be the iteration, the n will be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Follow how many you want. So you will need to change the n here. So xn, and all the place that you see x, you have to put an xn there. So I have 1 here, so I will change over here. All right, so this one is when you want to start iteration. So once you want to start iteration, so you say when x1 equals to 0.5, then you will start doing the iteration. Okay, another place where students make mistake is this one. They will fill in the first one and they didn't fill in the second one. Okay, when during exam, you are supposed to fill in the first one and the second one. Why is that so? Because the pemeriksa, the examiner, the marker, need to see the element that you use and put inside here. Understand? So you are going to put 0.63158 and you take that 0.63158 and put inside here. Okay, and then why the question asks for 3 decimal places and I go until 5 decimal places, that is also another rule. If let's say they gave you the iteration is 3 decimal places, you can use 4 decimal places, but the accuracy is not there. All right, so most of the time it is best to add another 2 more decimal places. So let's say if they want 3, you add to 5. All right, if they want 5, then you add to 7. All right, so that one, Aisha, Aileen, your fan is here. She's here. All right. Wah, teacher Aileen come in, you baru masuk Tara aci when you
Aisha is a super supporter. Hi, Aisha here.
Hi, your hardcore fan eh. Right. Cikgu Aileen masuk dia ada. Okay, where I am talking about just now is the decimal places that they mentioned inside the question. Remember to add 2 more. You want to add 3 more also fine, okay? But the best is add 2 more. All right, add 2 more places into the answer so that the accuracy is there. If you can do 4, you can do 4. You can add 1 more only, means 4 decimal places, but the accuracy, you might have problem with it. You can test with a few questions. Again, you can see the iteration. All right. So because sometimes you fail to do the stopping criteria. All right. So what you have here is the answer, and then once you fill in twice, you have to fill in twice. You fill in once, your marks is not enough. Okay, you have to fill in another time, and then you press calculator. Okay, now what about pressing calculator? So let me show you all the answer first, the iteration.
Before this, Teacher Im,
Okay.
we review the second code.
All right, sure.
Okay, the second code is 0.
Zero. Okay, my second code is 0. So, okay, so about the calculator. Can you see the calculator? Yeah, my old calculator. I don't have the new one. All right, Casio, you want to sponsor me the new one? Ask Casio to sponsor me the class with. All right, so you have the calculator with that. So what you do with, of course, you will key in. But what you do is you don't key in the number 1 by 1. Okay? So when you key in the time, what you do is you take the one given inside the question. For example, 0.5. Then after that, you press equals to. You press equals to. So your 0.5 is becoming your answer. Then after that, what you do is you look at the iterative equation. You have negative. Okay, so negative 3 lah. So I put negative 3. Okay, negative 3 divided by. So divided by what? Divided by the answer squared. So I press answer and then I press squared. Is that my squared? Too small. Okay, answer squared. And then I will press minus and then I will press 5. Then I close the bracket. Then I press answer. So I get the answer 63. I want 5 decimal places. So I get 0.63157. So behind, because I want 5 decimal places, the 6 decimal places is 8. So I need to bring forward 1 value. So I have my answer 0.63158. So when I want the second answer data, I don't need to recalculate again because I put the code there as answer. So I just press equals to. See, my second answer is out. 0.6520, and then I see there is 1 is 0, 1. But beside the 1, because I want 5 decimal places, the 6 decimal places is 6, so I need to bring over. So I will write 05202. Because sometimes my students say, teacher, every time I have to key in, I have to key in so many times. Actually, no need to key in. You just use what the note just now. You press the first one as your equals to. So that will be your answer. So you want the next one, you just press equals to. So that is what? 655. I want 5 decimal places. So 7, 5. But 7, 5, beside the 6 places is 5. So I can bring forward. So 6, 5, 5, 7, 6. So there's no similarity. Means there's no stopping criteria. Okay? No stopping criteria. So I press again. So 6, 5, 6, 4. The next number is 6. So 4, 6. Okay. Press again. Then 6, 5, 6, 5, 9. Still behind is 9. So can bring forward. So it's 6, 5, 9. Not stopping criteria. It's not similar. Stopping criteria means you have to take two numbers which are exactly the same. So this is not the same. So I press again. So I get 6, 5, 6, 6, 1. Okay, behind that is 4. So I cannot bring forward already. So 6, 5, 6, 6, 1. Then I press equals to again. 6, 5, 6, 6. Behind is 9. So I bring forward. So it's going to be 2. Then I press again. Tada! It's already a 2. So the stopping criteria is exactly the same. So if you feel, is this confirm the stopping criteria? Then you press again. Then you still get 6, 6, 2. Which means the iteration already stopped. You already reached the stopping criteria. Okay, I'm sure your teacher would have told you. I just want to show you how you get it from the calculator without needing to waste time to key in so many times. Any question? Can you all understand or not? If yes, please tell me yes. If you understand how to press calculator already, then I don't need to show you anymore how to press calculator. Is it okay?
Yeah, they should have no problem. Now we think we should take a break. Let them.
Okay, sure.
Yeah.
Okay, maybe Aileen
welcome back.
can give the next code so that I can continue.
All right. So the next code is 8.
All right, the next code is 8. All right, so I will move on to the answer part. Oh, and so here, if you don't have enough iteration, so I close this calculator. So you all remember, to start is you have to type the 0.5 given inside there, type equals to, press equals to. Okay, then that will be the answer. And then when you use the time, the X all you will press as answer. Press this key, answer. Okay, so I will close my calculator. Casio, you hear me, eh? Okay, so how many do you need to do is depending on the stopping criteria. Okay, when you reach the stopping criteria, which is when you have two, which is the same, then you can stop. All right, that is the stopping criteria, and then and all the to reach the stopping criteria, you just need your calculator. Okay, so they give the answer is like here got 8, so maybe they will say 5 correct 1 mark and then all correct 1 mark. So when you don't reach the stopping criteria, you won't get that marks. Okay, next one is another thing that very easy to lose marks is how you write the answer. There's two methods to write this answer. You have to write hence the root is what. Okay, equals to, if you use equals to, you have to tell them how many decimal places. If you don't want to write how many decimal places, for this case is 3 decimal places. If you don't want to write 3 decimal places, you have to use the almost equals to. So either or. You want to write like this, you have, this is your A1 marks, so which means you want 3 decimal places, that is 657. Okay, 657. So that is your A1, the final answer. But if you write equals to 0.657 without 3 decimal places, no marks. If you write equals to, you didn't use if you don't want to write 3 decimal places, you use the almost equals to. Remember that. These
Can
questions,
we write both, Teacher Im? Can we write both?
No need to waste time to do both. No need to waste time to do both.
I mean,
okay?
we write the where we equal sign and also at the 3 decimal place, both. Where we approximate and 3 decimal places.
Approximation to that and then 3 decimal places. No need. They accept either one. You want to write 3 decimal places?
Both, can or not?
Can, but waste time, no? You kind of, because approximation is already telling you is the approximation of the answer already. Okay, so it is we call that a redundant. So some old pemeriksa, they might minus mark for redundant. Okay, means you don't understand the concept of the wavy, but most of the time we accept. Okay, but here is preferable. They want 3 decimal places. You just say equals to 3 decimal places, or you put the wavy one. Okay, either one. No need to waste time to do 2. All right, so that is our final one question only. Oh my God. But there's a lot of things that I need to explain because there's a lot of things technical. Okay, if I could not finish, no, this time I won't do a video. If I could not finish, we will do Newton-Raphson next week. Okay, but I need to make sure you all understand the concept. Okay, because this chapter is easy, the marks is good, but very easy to lose marks. So I need you all to take note, okay, of a lot of things. Okay, question number 2. I don't need to show the calculation, the iteration already. So I'm going to use what is given inside question. They say this equation. So they say they want exactly 1 positive root. So you have to take note of the question. 1 positive root, show that the alpha is the root of this one. So what you are going to do is you are going to try to arrange until this one come out. So you slowly, all right, hello Cikgu Faza. Slowly arrange this equation until it comes to this. Another place students make mistake is they forgot. Every time when there is a square root, there is a plus minus. So if you didn't do this, minus 1 mark. Okay? So this is something that you need to take note. Every time you have a square root, then plus minus. Then you choose. How to choose? There they mentioned inside the question already. Exactly 1 positive roots. So you have the positive roots, exactly 1 positive roots, the alpha. So you will say if this one is exactly one positive root, or if you don't want to write, if fx has one positive roots, here is I copy this equation, so you just can say fx, then x is choose the correct one. Choose the correct one means the positive root. 1 mark here. If you stop here, tak cukup markah. Okay, you will exit. That's why I say it is easy, but a lot of time students kind of make mistake. Okay, so here you have to choose the correct one. So that's done for this part. So let's go for the second part where they say using the iteration. So using iteration formula. So you know already there's two methods, Newton-Raphson and iteration. So you have to mention using iteration. So you have, every time you say using the iteration formula, make sure put in the iteration. Okay, so they have here, just copy down lah. Sometimes they have, sometimes they don't, so you must be very careful. Okay, if they don't, also you must write down if you are using the iteration. So done with the iteration already, then you fill in one by one. So I'm not going to press the calculator already, you know. Press into your calculator 1 equals to, then use that as your target place. Okay, so you're going to put it in and then press. Here they say correct to two significant feature. So here I have 0.8164. I add two more place. All right, I add two more place. It's always add two more. Don't use three, because don't use just one more, because the accuracy will be problematic. Okay, sometimes you cannot reach the what you call that, the stopping criteria. Right, so you will press equals to inside your calculator, but here make sure you copy down exactly the same. 8165. 8165. It has to be exactly the same. If you use 5 decimal places, make sure you copy down 5 decimal places. Okay, and then your answer, the next answer also must have 5 decimal places. Okay, make sure they are all the same. It has to be exactly the same. You cannot here 3 decimal places, here 4 decimal places, the next one 5 decimal places. Cannot. It has to be the same. Okay, so I will go on and press the calculator and write x4, x5, all right. Here is x5, here is x6, here is x7. All right, so I got typing error there. So take note, x5, x6, x7. So once I reach x7, I press the calculator again. Oh, the stopping criteria is there. So I can therefore confirm you want correct to alpha, correct to two significant feature. So this one can go on to become 0.84 after you reach the stopping criteria for two elements more than what needed inside the question. Then I will write either one. You choose either one. No need to choose both. Okay, any question? Can understand? I'm going to go fast already. All right, no problem. Then I move on to next question. Okay, this next question is the part where they ask you the equation has two positive roots. And then they gave you the roots are alpha and beta. Then they give you the key. The key is the alpha is less than the beta. Okay, the key is the alpha less than the beta. And one negative root. So you have one positive roots and one negative roots. So you want to know, they ask you to prove that this one and this one exist. So let's prove it. So you know already the method that you are going to use, right? Do you know how to prove that? Just now I did mention, okay, you got two methods, graphing, or you can use the opposite sign method. Okay, I'm going to use the opposite sign method because this question did not ask for graphing. When they don't ask for graphing, you don't gotta go and do the graphing. All right? So, do you know how to prove? Any idea? Of course, just now I give you two to choose, either graphing or by using the positive negative sign. Okay, substitute the value. Yes, very good. Okay, so you will take the value. Which value we do for this one? Okay, we do for alpha first. So alpha is 0 to 1. So you take x equals to 0. You put inside, then bigger than 0. Then alpha equal the x equals to 1. Put it inside. And then because 0 and to 1. Okay, 0 to 1. So put it inside. Then you get negative. So then, okay, the place that students make mistake. Most of the times, the student will write, therefore, the root is 0, which lies between 0 to 1. They forgot to tell because this is a conclusion, they have to give the reason. Why is it there? So since fx is continuous, it has to be continuous first. If you read your textbook, they mention continuous have to come first. Means 0 to 1, there is no break. Okay, it has to be continuous between 0 to 1. All right. And with f1 and f2 are opposite sign. Give the reason, then the conclusion. Give the reason, then the conclusion. 1 marks each. Okay, so if you straight away did, most of the time students forgot to write this. They have to be continuous and it has to be opposite sign. Then only you can confirm that there is a root between 0 and 1. Okay, so you prove the first part here. Can understand? Okay, so this is for question A. Not yet finished. You still have another one, which is 3, 4. So I'm going to go through that fast. Okay, so there is my 3, 4. And then here, continuous. See, it has to use continuous between 3, 4. Because it has to be continuous first. Then it has opposite sign. Then confirm that it has a root. If it is not continuous, there is a break, then cannot. Okay, cannot have a root. You don't know suddenly that roots is in the break, then how? So tak boleh. All right, it has to be between continuous between 3, 4, and then there is a root which lies between 3 and 4. So reason, conclusion, reason, conclusion. You have to go like that. Okay, and then they ask you the statement. Okay, given alpha is less than beta, proven that this element stays. Okay, because you see alpha is less than beta. That is the reason why it is there. There is a reason why they gave you that. Okay, so that is for part A. Let's move on to part B. Is it too fast? Everybody okay? Is it too fast? If too fast, tell me. Because I'm trying to rush for time. I want to finish at least iteration. Okay? Show that the iteration. So they gave you the formula of the iteration, but most of the time, before you can use this iteration, you have to prove the iteration exists first. Okay? So make sure if you cannot prove, you cannot use. Okay? If you cannot prove the iteration, you cannot use it to calculate. So you have to make sure. Okay, you have to make sure that you go and set in the iteration first. So proof. Okay, show that this iteration, provided that x naught is bigger than alpha, will converge. So now we are going for the part that converge. So this question, I told you already just now, they can mix and match. So what they mix is the opposite symbol and converges. So they want you to prove that this is converges. So what you do is you try to prove this first. So you will try to arrange. Okay. What about bouncing value? Okay. Later I will talk about the bouncing value. Okay. So when I reach the answer for the roots at the time, I will talk about the bouncing value. Yeah. Okay. So when you see bouncing value afterwards, I will talk about that. Right. So I will prove it in, and then I need to set in the fx. Okay. let the fx be the iteration equation, then I differentiate. I arrange nicely already, then I differentiate it, then the question given to you and x naught is bigger than the alpha, so I will choose. Why I want to see this? Because I want to know which one I want to choose. Okay, whether because you got 0 and 1, and then you got 3 and 4. So I have to choose between 3 and 4. So I choose the number 3.5. Why? Because they mentioned inside the question, the x naught have to bigger than alpha. So I have to choose the beta one. Okay, means it's from 3 to 4 just now. So I choose the beta one, I put inside, then I notice it is less than 1. When it is bigger than 1, then it's a divergent. When it is less than 1, it is a convergent. Okay, it converges. So you have to write the theorem and then write the conclusion. Then only you can create the full marks. Okay, so this is what will happen to your equation when you want to show that the iteration is convergent or divergent. The steps is you arrange, then you put it into fx, you differentiate it, capital letter F, you differentiate it, and then you check whether it is the value, the x that you choose have to be correct. See the clue that they gave you, they want bigger than alpha, so it's the 3, 4, you have to use the beta one, so you will put in here, choose 3 to 4, I choose 3.5, all right, so you will put it inside, you calculate, if it is less than 1, then you say the modulus element is less than 1, then you say it is a convergent. It is bigger than 1, then divergent, cannot use that iteration, okay, because this calculation can only, we can calculate the answer of the approximation when it converges into an answer. That's why you have the stopping criteria. It becomes one answer. Okay, but if the iteration is a divergent, you cannot create an answer. Means the answer will become so different. Okay, now I talk about the bouncing values, or we called it the oscillation value. Either they come back, go back, come back, go back, or the oscillate, means two answer is the same. They come one answer, 0.1 and then 0.2, 0.1, 0.2. Then when you choose, you have an oscillation or the bouncing one when they have double bounce. Means you see the pair twice, then use the answer of the pair. Means the last answer. Okay, so let's say if you got 0.1, 0.2, and then you see again 0.1, 0.2, use the 0.2. Okay, all right, so that is the oscillates or the bouncing answer. Okay, so next one is if you have formed another iteration that will converge to this one, form another iteration. Nampak? Just now I told you already, one equation can create a lot of equation. You can create a lot of equation. They will ask you for more. Okay, like this question, they give you one, but they didn't want to use that to calculate your answer. They ask you for another one. So if they ask you for another one, okay, then you have to create another one and you have to make sure it converges. How to make sure? Means you have to do the capital letter F again, you have to differentiate again, and then you have to put it in again. Okay, so I will put it in like this, all right? I will put it in like this, and then capital letter means the you can arrange you and try and error, okay, because they want the convergent one. So if you try and error and then you get the divergent one, then tak boleh lah, okay, because you can only use it to calculate the approximation when it is convergent. Remember that. Okay, so I will put in the iteration. Remember to put in the xn, and then I will differentiate it. Okay, once I differentiate it, then form another iteration that will converge to alpha. See, they want alpha, so I use the x that I create is from 0 to 1, so I use 0.5. Then I put in, ta-da, I got less than 1, then I have to do the conclusion. Okay, I have to do the conclusion. Theorem come out first, the modulus less than 1, then the thing is converges. If bigger than 1, then tak boleh. It's a divergent. You cannot use to calculate anything. Okay, so this one is a convergent. So they want the iteration. See carefully. They want the iteration. So make sure you write xn plus this one. If you write this one, your marks gone again. All right, so make sure follow the question. Another iteration, make sure you write in iteration form and you tell them converges for alpha. Why? Because you created less than 1. Okay, so this is part C. And then we will go for part D. Part D is a Newton-Raphson. Okay, use the Newton-Raphson method with 3.5 they gave you, means the beta, all right, remember, and starting value to calculate the beta. So you remember that 3.5 is beta. Okay, so 3 to 4 is beta. So actually they're asking you to calculate the beta. Right, this time they ask you for Newton-Raphson. So you have to Newton-Raphson, take the original equation, differentiate it, and then using Newton-Raphson. You're not using iteration. Just now they keep on asking you. That's why I say they will mix and match. So inside just now that question, they actually gave you the iteration, but they want Newton-Raphson. So they will confuse your brain for a while. Oh, can I use that just now, that iteration or not? Nope. You have to use the Newton-Raphson because they mentioned Newton-Raphson method. So if you accidentally, you didn't read, then you straight away go and do the using the iteration to with the beta just now, then wrong already. So see question carefully. So by using the Newton-Raphson, this is the 3.5, you will put in, okay, make sure, because Newton-Raphson got formula, the formula is inside the formula list. That will be the xn and the f prime fx divided by the f prime x. Okay, so therefore you're going to put in, so Newton-Raphson, you cannot, no choice. How you can simplify it to become 1? Okay, is it okay if you don't write the sentence? No, that is the sentence is one part is conclusion. Because I'm not doing the partial, here got partial question, but I don't think I have time today. I will talk about it next week. Okay, maybe Newton-Raphson I will do, and then I will do trapezium rule. Okay, so next week or the week after, because I know your exam is coming very, very fast. So next week I will continue this, and then I will talk about trapezium rule. Okay, next week lah. I have to be next week because the week after is too near to your exam already. You can't revise. Okay. Let me come back here. So the formula is inside the formula list, the not this formula, but the Newton-Raphson formula itself. So you can go on and take it. Newton-Raphson, the formula, when you key inside the calculator, the time, you have to be very, very careful because the answer part got 4 parts. That's why I say don't go and key in the number, but use 3.5, press equals to, that is your answer, but you have to practice. Okay, the calculator skill you have to practice, because if you just learn one time and then you want to go into the exam and use that skill on your calculator, a lot of times students make mistake when pressing, and you don't even know you make mistake. Then you press equals to, the answer is all wrong. Okay, so if you want to play safe, you calculate 1 first, you calculate 1 and then you press equals to, you get the answer, then you test and see whether your calculator skill is correct or not. Okay, so you will have press the calculator, and then I remind you again, this is the first time. You need to fill in twice. I repeat again, you need to fill in twice. This is the second time. But inside the calculator, you just press equals to. So you press equals to, how many decimal places? They want 2, so I increase 2 more. You have to add 2 more. Okay, 3 more is even better, but we don't have that much time to copy things. All right, so you will press 2 more, and then I will press again and again until you reach the stopping criteria. See, X2 is 4217, S3 is 4217, stopping criteria is there. I want to go for 2 decimal places, or I want to do the approximation equation. Is up to you. Okay, it's up to you. All right, so I think I'm going to stop here. My next question is this one. Okay, but I'm going to teach this next week. Okay, I'm going to teach this next week. So I'm going to stop here. I'm going to do that next week because all this needs explanation. I cannot just give you and then ask you to understand. Okay, so if you don't have, do you have question? Because this chapter is easy. It is easy, but it is also very easy to lose a lot of marks. This is a place where the markers minus marks until very excited one. Ooh, can minus mark again. Ooh, can minus mark again. Just joking. Just joking. Okay, don't worry. We will try to give the markers are very nice people. Okay, they will try to give you all your marks, but then if you make mistake, people will penalize. The pemeriksa will penalize. Okay, so do you have any question? Any question? Is it okay? If okay, please give me a thumbs up. If you have question, you can leave it inside the chat box or inside the comment box. You can ask the question, right? So I've already reached my end of the time. Next week, I will continue with the next question, including trapezium rule. So next week, I will give a PDF on trapezium rule, and I will talk about the next question. Okay? That's all from me today because it's a lot of explanation. So I have problem with the timing. Okay? But because I want you all to really, really understand what I want to say, please give me a thumbs up, okay? Because it is very tiring to type all this thing. Okay, see you. Bye-bye. Back to you, Teacher Eileen.
All right. So before this, let me tell you the last digit code. Now the last digit code is 6. Oh no, 6 is like that.
Teacher Eileen.
Spending already.
You see how tiring we teachers are? Okay, so please hit the like button and do subscribe to our channel because we didn't want to go and bother your teacher. Cikgu, tolong tell your students I got class today. We didn't want to do that. Okay, but sometimes we can't because we don't have people inside our channel. We are not famous, ma. All right. If I'm famous, I don't need to ask your teacher to help me to tell you I got class. Okay? Right.
All right. So now we have reached the end of today's session. So thank you so much to those who are able to follow our session from the beginning till the end. Before we end our session for today, and as a sign of support, please click the subscribe button below and activate the bell button so that you will not miss the next class session. Then if you find that the lesson was beneficial, hit the like button and share to your friends on your social media. Spread and share the goodness. Now, the
Okay.
link of the certificate and the link of the credit code should be already in the chat box. So, presenter's username is already there. Yeah, I think so. So now please take note that the link will end 15 minutes after the live. Make sure use the e-didate email for the certificate and the correct ID e-didate junior for the credit record. Any incorrect email or ID use will not be entertained. If you wish to get more information on the online classes, go to www.academyyoutuber.com, and to those who haven't joined eDidect Junior Telegram, please do so. Before we end, I would like to thank all the students for joining today. Feel free to share this free tuition class to your friends and teachers all over Malaysia. This is a collective effort from all the teachers throughout Malaysia for all the students throughout the country. Thank you for being a YouTuber Academy supporter too. I think that's all for now. See you in another session. Don't forget our hashtag bermula percuma, selamanya percuma.
Percuma.
Yeah. Stay safe until we meet again next week, same day, same time. Bye-bye.
Yes. Bye-bye.
Berita baik untuk semua. Kini Akademi YouTuber memperkenalkan sistem mata ganjaran kredit AYU untuk dikumpul. Jom ikuti kelas tuition live AYU untuk mengumpul kredit AYU dan berpeluang menebus hadiah-hadiah yang menarik. Hadiah bernilai lebih RM10,000 disediakan secara percuma untuk pelajar seluruh Malaysia. Apa tunggu lagi? Tebus ganjaran hebat ini sekarang. Layari www.academyyoutuber.com untuk maklumat lanjut.
Dibawakan kepada anda oleh Akademi YouTuber.